Alright, so this of course is a guide for gear in 7th Edition's Grand Cross. Gear is one of the most in-depth things in the game, and don't worry about knowing everything in the first few weeks that you play the game. With time you will evolve and you'll learn more and more. Just be able to know that gear is very important and eventually you will have to work on it, but it gets very simple. It really does. It gets very simple with time. In the beginning it does seem very overwhelming, but it does get pretty simple. The video can be very long, I don't know. If it does get pretty long, maybe you might want to watch it in times 1.5 speed. It could be good, but in general, this is going to be just tips for people that need this help. So, I'm going to leave also 2 links in the description. The first one will be for this. This is a website just with the translations for gear, and the image that I did, which is the translations for each role in each gear. I'll talk more about it in a second, but I'll also leave this. I would recommend having this image just saved in your phone or in your PC, just whenever you need it. But going back, how does gear work? So gear is a very big part of the game because it gives like a lot of stats to your character. As you can see, this is like really good gear, and my character almost doubles the stats. So these are the stats that gear is giving me. Without gear, if I take it off, right, and I put just terrible gear that I have just in here somewhere else, like this. Look at how my stats dropped. Look at the drop, right? My stats just dropped a lot. But of course, it took me a long time to get all this good gear together. But how does it work? So the top ones, the bracer and the ring, they are attack gear. So they give attack as a stat, and also in their substats, they roll for attack. The one in the middle, they give defense, so they also give defense right here. They will always give defense, no matter what the symbol is in here, they will always give defense right here, and they will always roll for defense related stats down here. And the bottom one is for HP, so they will always give HP, no matter what the symbol is, as I said, and they will always roll for HP related stats. So that's very important to know. Also, what are these symbols at the top? So these are the symbols. Again, that's why I recommend getting the website. The sword is for attack, and on and on and on and on. You can see the symbols right here and read. And specific symbols require specific amounts of the same one matching for it to work. For example, attack, you need 4 of the same symbol for it to give the bonus 20% attack. If I take off this right here, I lose my attack bonus, which was right here. If I put it back, I get it back. So it's not like, oh, if I have 1, it will give me the 20% attack bonus. You need 4 attacks to give you 20% attack. But also there's like defense, which you only need 2. So you can mix and match. You have 1 that requires 4 and 1 that requires 2 for a total of 6 gears. That is the amount that you can have. So right here, you can see that Meliodas has 4 attack gears and 2 defense gears. So he is a defense and attack focused character. That's very good to know because a lot of characters you want to do something like this. You want to have attack and defense. Most characters, I would actually say. But also a lot of characters would want HP. You can see the HP right here also requires 4. It's because they kind of went in attack and HP are the most important stats, right? So they require 4. You don't want to have someone with like 6 HP gears, you know, it would be so much. But there's a lot of characters you want to focus on HP because they are not attack related characters, they may be support characters, so you want to give them HP and defense maybe. Or I see people even using HP and crit defense, but I would recommend HP and defense. I'll always go for the stats, because stats are what gives the character combat points, and if you have more combat points than the enemy, you go first, which is very, very important, especially in PvP. So, how does the gear work in the rerolling? So rerolling is very important for gear. Let me go in a character that has a really weak gear so I can actually reroll. So whenever you have gear, right, you have a rerolling potential so you can get the stats that you want. And here comes my screenshot. So each kanji right here, you know what the stat means. The brace and the ring, as I said, are attack related gears. So the top ones will always roll attack related stuff. So it would be attack, penetration, crit rate, and crit damage. I would always recommend going for attack. Some characters can go for crit damage, like Slater, and Lilia could go for penetration, but most characters, like 99% of characters, you want to go for attack, because again, it gives you more stats, it gives you more CP. Oh, but crit damage is going to increase the damage of my critical. Well, if your character has a higher attack stat, that also increases the damage of your critical, you know what I'm saying? So, how do you reroll? If you have a C, it goes from C to SSR, the gear, and now UR, but UR I'll talk about in a second. C to SSR. So C, you can reroll, let me actually get the C1, you can reroll C gear with 5,000 gold, so each time you reroll, right, it will change the stat, and you can see right here what the new stat is. Oh, what's the stat? It's attack. So I know it's attack because I read the kanji. So, you also want to go for the highest one possible, right? C requires gold. UC always is gold as well, but it is a little bit more expensive, it's 7,000. R, it's also gold, but it's a little bit more expensive. It's, what is it, 10,000, I think? I have one that can reroll right here. It's 10,000, right? So it gets progressively more expensive. When it gets to the SR though, SR requires 1 gem to reroll. So, as a beginner player, you wanna focus on having C, UC, and R gear first, because those are the gears that you can reroll with gold, and that can consume a lot of gold, man. I've spent like millions and millions and millions of gold just rerolling one gear, so that can be very expensive. But as I said, in like a late game, you just have millions and millions of gold just piling, so you'll be okay eventually. But as a beginner, it can be very difficult. But moving on, SSR, I said SR costs 1 gem, SSR costs 2 gems. So you wanna, again, go for the go for the R, UC, and C first. But also, as you get more progress into the game, you get Ambos and hammers. So Ambos reroll the stat of the gear as well. So let's say I want to reroll this because it's trash. I can use Ambos. These are free. You can buy, but I would not recommend. These are free, and you can get most of these in Training Cave and stuff, but it's not unlimited, okay? That's why I'd recommend only using Ambos and hammers on SSR gear. Maybe SR, but especially SSR gear. And the hammers, they don't re-roll the stat, they just increase the stat. I don't have any to use because I always use them, but if I had, it would increase my stat from like 2.3 to like 2.5 or 2.7, whatever. It's random, but it just increases. It never re-rolls what it is inside. It doesn't go from like HP to regen, right? It's always gonna be HP. But let me go back to re-rolling right here. I wasn't hurt. So, on the first one, of course, there is attack, penetration, crit rate, and crit damage. Attack is attack, right? Penetration, it's weird. I always ask people what it means. It's been 2 months and a half since I played the game. I don't know exactly what penetration does, but I'm guessing it cuts through defense. That's what I'm guessing. Crit rate, it increases the chance of you getting critical, and critical damage increases the damage on the critical itself. It doesn't increase damage if you don't crit though. That's the thing with crit damage that I don't like too much. And then in the defense gear, there's defense, of course, increases your defense. Patience, it's another weird stat like penetration, right? Because I don't know exactly what it does. I guess it cuts more damage, but that's what defense does. So it's kind of like defense. I don't know. But it helps. I've seen it help because a lot of characters that have high patience tends to tank better. But again, I would always recommend rerolling for defense. Critical resistance, it reduces the chance of you getting a crit. That's what it is, right? Yeah. Critical resistance reduces the chance of getting a crit, of being critical hit. Lots of every character has a crit resistance stat. So her, she has like a 23% resistance herself. So I would not recommend really investing on this. In critical defense, this is defense, it reduces the damage you take from crits. Again, every character already has that. She already has like 30% right here. So again, would not really recommend. In this gear, I would always recommend going for defense, which is this kanji right here, which again, you should save just so you never lose it. And then at the bottom with the HP gear, it can vary from HP, as defense and attack can also have, right? It's just the stat is HP. It has HP regeneration, which I don't know. Again, it's so I don't know exactly what it does, because we already have HP recovery, which the more recovery you have, you like regenerate HP through the turn. What does regen mean then? I don't know. I don't know. These three stats, penetration, patience, and regen, is just so confusing. Lifesteal, the more damage you do to the enemy, you actually get some of health back. So a unit that actually revolves around that much is Bon. If you have like lifesteal on him, like he has a high lifesteal already. Whenever he does like big damage on the enemy, he gets healed by the damage that he does. I would also not recommend going for this. As I said in the other ones, I would go for HP, because it increases your CP, right? Like my Meliodas, as you can see right here, he doesn't even have HP gear, right? I decided to go for attack and defense, and he gets 46k HP just because I rolled HP, and his gear is pretty bad. I'm still, like, as I said, I am a player that plays the game a lot, and I'm still not done with gear. I still have a lot to do with my gear. This is my only UR gear set. Oh yeah, UR. You can only go, like, you can only get gear up until SSR, but with a recent patch they did, if you go on Merlin in the boar hat, you can upgrade gear. That can be for every rarity. So how it works is, you get the gear, right? It can be every rarity. It just goes up, like if it's an R, it goes up to SSR, right? But of course, I'd always recommend going for SSR to UR. You select the gear that you want. You select a character that you want that gear to be related to. So if I choose Elizabeth, the power of the UR gear will only be given to Elizabeth. Let me make an example. If I use my UR gear on Escanor, let me pick Escanor here. If I put my UR gear on Escanor, it will not give him the UR stats. It will give him the SSR stats. The UR stats are only given to Meliodas because I chose Meliodas as the character to be given to. Again, you will not need this as a beginner player. I'm just saying how it is, and I'm not going to expand more. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to expand more through this. It's just, that's all you need to know. But now recommendations for characters. If a character is a character that does damage, always go for attack and defense. It's just how it is. Escanor, I just showed him, he's my baby boy attack and defense. You know, always attack and defense. Unfortunately, you can go, if you could go attack and HP, then yeah, I'll go attack and HP, but you can't. Now, for support units, let's say Gopher, I would usually recommend HP and defense. Now, another good thing about HP and defense is that HP gives more combat power. What do I mean? Because your pool of HP is higher, the percentage is gonna like be more stats given to the character. If you sum up the stats, it's gonna give more CP, because CP is the sum of all of your stats divided by 3. So if you have a super high HP, your combat power is gonna be super high. It's like, because if you just increase your attack, yeah, attack's cool, but because the stat is like lower than HP, like HP can be like 150k, right? That's gonna be much higher than if you have like, oh, 15k attack stat, you know? That's 10 times higher. So your CP is gonna be higher. I'm sorry if this sounds confusing, but if you wanna go for raw CP, HP and defense is the best you can do. Again, I would not really recommend going for like crit defense, you know? It's just not very good. You want to go for defense. If you're gonna go for something, go for defense. If you're gonna go for something defense related, go for defense. If you're gonna go for something attack related, go for attack. If you're gonna go for something HP related, go for HP. And that's almost it. I think, oh, it was much faster than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna take much longer. Like, in general, most units you want to go for attack and defense. It's just how it is. You want to go for the raw stats. And again, there are characters you want to get like crit damage, like Slater, because he's an odd example, right? Slater, his whole thing is that he does lots of damage on his crits, and he has a super high crit chance. If it's a specific character that does something like that, then yeah, oh, for sure, go for crit damage on him. Like, I would go for crit damage on Slater if I was building him, right? But for most characters, attack and defense or HP and defense. And I think that's it. If I missed something, I'm sorry, because I think I didn't. I hope I didn't. Oh yeah, how do you acquire equipment? So, you come here. You click which one you want. It takes you where it is. You do the mission until you get it. That's how you get it. That's how you get the equipment. Not very difficult. If it's crit damage, you actually have to purchase in the PvP section with PvP coins, which I don't really recommend. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching.